It's a pleasure to be here with this afternoon. My name is Amador. I'm with Avinext in College Station, Texas, and we are a systems integrator. A little bit of background on myself. So I've been in this industry for almost 2 decades now, and when I started out in a recording studio, actually. Through college, I worked at a local television station as a director. I also worked for a church, so I've worn a lot of hats throughout my time. Shortly after that, I made my transition from a user of systems into being a systems integrator, and I had a great opportunity. I worked for some very large companies, very large campuses, doing some state-of-the-art work in the oil and gas industry. And I'll tell you, that hands-on, boots-on-the-ground experience was just so important in my development as an AV professional. I think too often we try to skip that step, so I'm glad I had that opportunity. That eventually led me into the design of systems. It led me into management, and then in my current position, I'm the director of AV for Avinext. And I think I was kind of that last generation that really experienced analog video. I experienced analog mixing on analog consoles, right, where you had a bunch of outboard gear, racks and racks of gear, and that gave me a really good understanding of signal chain, of gain structure, and it's incredible to just look and see how things have progressed over the years. So, I remember RGB-HB crimping hundreds of BNC connectors. Then we moved to matrix switchers, obviously, and that was an improvement over that, the quality. But I do remember just being so worried that you filled up a 16 by 16 switcher and you forgot about that one extra input, and that 17th one, and how that would just throw everything off the rails, and you had to deal with that. So HC-based T products came out, and now video over IP. And that's kind of how we see things shift. And really, when you look back on it, that was a very short time frame that all these things developed and came to be. So happy to see it all the way through. Let me share a little bit about who Avinext is. So the company's been around for over 30 years now, and we have 3 main divisions to our company. We have an IT division, we have a security division, and then we have the AV. And it wasn't always this way. The company really built its roots, built its foundation on being a networking and computer company. And it wasn't until many years later when we saw the need for AV and security, and the company decided to build this into what their offerings were. So as technology has advanced and we've started to really rely and depend on network switches, depend on the IT infrastructure, for us it was an easy adoption. And it just made a lot of sense. We were comfortable with it already. And it's in our name, Avinext. Our tagline that we've used for 20 years is AV Savvy, Network Smart. So for us, it was just natural. So I think the thing, that was really the main reason why we decided to become an SDVoE Certified Design Partner, and then what ultimately brought me here today speaking about it. So when I was asked to speak, I kind of thought about, okay, what is the topic that I'm going to talk about? And you'll see here a lot about the specs and all the technical things that are talked about, but it all really brought me back to this one topic, and it's building resilient connections, nurturing company culture and relationships during chip shortages. And I know you may be asking, what in the world does that have to do with SDVoE? Well, don't worry, I'm going to pull it all together at the end, so just hang in there. But I think this is a topic that we don't talk enough about. We're way too quick to jump into the technical stuff without really understanding the reason why. Why does this even exist? Why do we need it? And that's really what I want to focus on today. So to get us in the mindset, but I'd like to ask just one question, and I'm going to skip ahead here, but it's what is it that we sell? We're surrounded here in this amazing place with some of the best technology, most cutting-edge things But what do we sell? I'll ask this question a lot to our new employees at Avinext, and I'll get the same similar responses. They'll say, TVs, speakers, displays, and yes, we do sell that. But is that really why people come to do business with us? Is that really why people continue to come back and do business over and over again? And that's what I want us to really focus on today. So I'm a big coffee fan, right? Is anyone else a coffee fan, right? And I'm talking good coffee, not just normal coffee, okay? I'm all about it. And so I'm from a college town. There is a coffee shop literally on every corner, okay? And there's one recently that showed up, and I like this one, right? It had a drive-through, right? For me, I've got 3 small boys, married. We've got a minivan we roll up, and you can drive through and get your coffee. So that was awesome. But as I'm in line getting my coffee, I see the person at the window, and she is literally hanging out the window, almost in the car with the people there. And they're just chatting it up. Okay. And I said, okay, well, they must know each other. I'll wait. It's fine. And then the next car pulls up. Same thing. They're just talking it up. And I'm sitting here, I haven't had my coffee. It's early in the morning. I'm like, okay, let's speed this up a little bit. And I finally get to the window, and there's this, cheerful young lady, and she's greeting me. She's asking me how my day is going. She's telling me about her weekend. And we chat for a little bit, right? And I still don't have my coffee at this point. And I can actually see that the coffee is sitting there behind her, and I'm waiting on it. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Like I said, we've got 3 small boys. She wants us to roll the window down, and she's chatting with my boys, and she goes and gets stickers and suckers, and she's handing them out to them. And I was like, okay, I just came here for coffee, but it was fine. We drove off, and that was that experience. Well, I go there again another time, and it was a different person, but I had the exact same experience. And so when I got up to the window, I asked him, I said, what is this? What's with all this chit chat? Why are y'all doing this? And they said, well, we're not in the coffee business. We're in the people business. And I think that's so true with us also. And so I'll kind of ask the question again, what is it that we sell? So at Avinext, we have a core focus, and this is just not something that's said, it's something that's weekly, quarterly. We're reviewing as a company with all our employees, and it's that we want to be a provider of relationship-based technology solutions. And our core value as a company, we state that we want to build lifelong relationships, that we do what we say when we say we're going to do it, and that we own the problem regardless of who's at fault. Because ultimately we believe that our reputation is more important than profit, right? Our reputation is more important than profit. And I know for some of us that can be a little uncomfortable, right? So often we just want to hit somebody up with a change order. We want to try to capture everything that we have. But the relationship that you have with your customers is really the most important thing. Now, we all experienced the struggles over the last couple of years with getting product. It's one of the hot topics that we hear about all the time. Chip shortages, supply chain disruptions, factory shutdowns. I remember the day when we thought we were going to be able to do a project in 2 weeks, and we found out that product wasn't going to show up in 2 more months. Well, that 2 months turned into 4 months, into 8 months, and what are we to do? We need to keep our employees utilized, right? We need to deliver on the promises that we made to our clients. We need to get paid, right? We need to install the work so that way we can get paid for that work. And honestly, it was a tough time. But I am proud to say that as a company, we didn't have any layoffs through that time. We didn't have any missed work. We were able to keep people moving. And people have asked, well, how was that possible? And I think I don't really fully didn't understand how important those core values that we have of taking care of our customers, building those relationships, how that really carried us through everything. Because our clients were faced with difficult questions, right? Do I trust Avinext with what they're telling me? They're saying they can't get this product for 8 months. Do I believe them? We're making recommendations, say, okay, well, we trust this other product. You may have never heard of it. Quite frankly, it's new to us. We've vetted it. Do I trust what they're telling me? Do I get a second opinion? Right? These are all the questions that people were faced with, and they easily could. So what does this look like, right? If you've built a strong partnership, if you've built this trust with your clients, what does that look like? Well, I want to show you, because I love this picture. Okay, you can't read this, but a project manager sent me this just a couple months ago. What this is hanging in for one of our clients, a technology department, for a very large organization. And what they have here is a list of all the integrators that they've worked with over the past several years, and a list of why they don't want to do business with them, and why Avinext is their go-to, right? Our clients posted this 4-page picture posted on the wall. So when people in their organization and their leadership group says, well, they're saying this, why don't we go somewhere else? They just point to this on the wall. This is why the partnerships and the relationships is important. So I just love it. Now this blur, you can't read it. Guys, there are 12 other businesses on this list from our surrounding areas. It shouldn't be this way. I mean, y'all keep doing what you're doing because we'll take care of them, but it shouldn't be this way. So because of those partnerships that we invested in, the projects where we've stepped up and proven our core values, we've developed that trust, customers stuck with us, and transparency was key through it all. And this partnership, it goes both ways. It's not just the partnership that we have with our clients, it's the partnership that we have with our vendors and manufacturers, right? I mean, when we all work together at all levels, we can really get things done. We can accomplish some great things. But it takes truly understanding what the customer's needs are, what is quality to them, being transparent and open and honest about the state of the project, guiding them through that whole process with good communication, and then of course service and supporting them after project's complete, so that way they trust, right? We want to sell reliability into our systems. That's one of the most important things. So why SDVoE, right? Why am I bringing this up with this? Well, when product was scarce, we worked hard to find alternates to the products, and ones that we were comfortable with, ones that we trusted. And this is what we found. There are a lot of video over IP solutions out there, and they don't all perform the same way. People have already had experience with matrix switchers. What we're replacing with are ones that we put in 3 to 5 years ago. They already knew the quality of that. They already knew the reliability of that. They already had an expectation, and we're coming to them and saying, hey, this is the newest and greatest thing. Here we go. But we're going to have to scale back the frame rate a little bit, right? Or, there may be some artifacts in there, and it shouldn't be that way. Not just that, but as we were looking at all these different options, we had to get our programming and engineering staff up to speed. We had to get them in. They had to learn how those devices communicate. They had to test it out. They had to know how to configure it, what the commands were, because they were all different. And we had to invest a lot of time just to look at that product and say, yeah, no, maybe that one's not the right one. Let's try a different one. And here you go. You start all over again. And not all devices were just drop-in replacements. It usually required some other pieces, right? Okay, well, we made that change, so we're going to have to put some other encoders, decoders here. They don't have that format of it, so we're going to move this around, or it's whatever it may be. So it wasn't all just drop-in replacements. And all this time, we're trying to communicate to our clients. We're trying to let them know that, hey, we got you. We're trying to take care of you. But they're waiting, right? So the amount of effort and time it took to vet one of these solutions, it was just tremendous. It was a tremendous investment, but that's kind of what we found through it. And that is why SDVoE is important. One of the things that I saw, and I'm going to echo this because I agree with it, I believe Ethernet is the right technology for transporting AV signals. Visual performance should never be compromised, and IT-driven AV demands IT-like interoperability. So ultimately what matters is the user's experience. And when you can meet the quality of the performance of the system and pair that with the quality of their experience throughout that life cycle of that project, that is a successful project. And that is how you develop a lifetime partnership with your clients. So that's really what I wanted to talk about. I hope there were some nuggets of information that were helpful to you, but I appreciate this opportunity, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show.